Not on the overall industry. I think that's overstating it. But we're getting more and more people who. So when you're putting something this revolutionary in, it creates a bit of a shock pulse. People are like, what happened? So it's taken a while because we're not the biggest AV company out there. We're the most innovative, but certainly not the biggest one. Um, it's taken a while for us to put some systems in here and there. And we now have some fairly prominent systems, both as pure Quicksilver and as hybrids, both as wireless and as wired or semi-wired. Um, that people are having to take note because they are affordable, they are more maintainable. The clients are delighted with what they have and the capabilities that these things give them. So we're continuing to do that. We're getting more and more people inquiring and basically saying, um, actually, there's two questions. The first one is, hey, we're looking at an AV system. What can you do? And we help them design something. And when it turns out to be, as a holistic system, by the time you take into account that you're no longer having architect and EC meetings every other day to figure out where that conduit needs to go and everything else. And you're eliminating the cost of installing that conduit and installing the cable and the cost of the cable and the cost of terminating it and rack rooms and extra HVAC. And by the time you pull all of that out of it, people realize that, by talking to us, they're going to get better value for money. So that is one thing that has had a very positive impact, as you can imagine. Um, that is the first thing that we're seeing. And then the other thing that we're seeing is the other question that we're being asked is, how do we handle RFPs? What do we do when we want to put, we really want to put Quicksilver in, but we have to put an RFP out. And because you guys are not selling it as components yet, how do we handle that? And so we're handling that using what we call QSEC, which is the Quicksilver Equalizer, which allows other people to, put together the projectors and the monitors and everything else, and then imagine it as Amazon for AV, where they tell us what they need. We put a system together, we pre-configure it, we put it into boxes. Hey, this one is for this exhibit, this one is for that exhibit, this one is for that exhibit. We send it, they start integrating it, so it is possible for them to bid on a Quicksilver system, even though it will require our involvement. And then we do the commissioning and basically make sure that everything is 100%. And that is what we're doing certainly at the moment, because it guarantees us 100% success rate. And obviously that is what we have to have. And by keeping tight control of the system, we've managed to have a 100% success rate. And that is helping us building up the reputation for the system. And so the more we're putting in, and we have several projects that we've signed up even since the pandemic that are Quicksilver based. So we're seeing more and more people who are accepting that there is something new out there, that it will give them benefits, and looking at the other systems that are out there with Quicksilver running them. It's very clear that it's a working solution, it's a stable solution, and it's a supportable solution. And that is what clients want to see, and it's good value for money.